you. Got my brother like no other, Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining me. We got a very special guest be joining us a little bit. And Kris, first of all, how are you, man?
I'm doing pretty well, brother. How are you?
Man, I read my social media right before I came on, so I'm trying not to get on one like I was last week because I was on one with you. I was on one that Friday. It was a week, bro. It was a week.
But hey, if that's how you feel, that's who you are. Let's
Well,
roll with it, man.
before Holly comes on, I hope she's not watching. Before Holly comes on, Grandmaster J of a black militia pointed a unloaded safety on weapon at a officer during the protests because of the murder of Breonna Taylor. He said he was using his flashlight on the end of the weapon. He got sentenced to 7 years. 7. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't pull one trigger. He didn't shoot in anybody's direction. He got sentenced to 7 years.
And what was the prosecution's viewpoint of this? What laws were broken?
Sure, it was assault with a deadly weapon, attempted murder. I'm sure it was something crazy.
And then
7 years.
We'd have to ask what the defense attorney did as well, because didn't do a good job apparently.
So I can go and storm the Capitol. I can knock caca out of a police officer in the midst of an insurrection and not get 7 years. But I can't point a unloaded safety on weapon with a flashlight on the end of it in the direction of an officer and get 7 years.
Well, I just thought about it. I mean, one line of logic they would use would have been, well, how would the officer know it's unloaded? Kind of thing. But I mean, hey,
still alive. He's still alive. Not one bullet flew his way. Not
simple,
one.
Simple. I feared for my life, brother.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna get on one today. Sincere thoughts and prayers to the officer who clearly survived a tragic, horrific incident. Sincere thoughts and prayers going out to the family of Grandmaster J. I pray that they're able to find reason and cause to appeal and win. How did election day turn out for you in your mind, your opinion?
I voted.
You and me both.
Hey, I did my part.
Yeah.
That's hey, I can leave it at that. I voted. I was surprised at some things, and some things considered where we live, I wasn't surprised at all. So, as in the state of Texas. But hey.
I got to bring out one point. I am extremely surprised that Governor Greg Abbott won Uvalde County. Extremely surprised. Look, if ever there was some potential voting fraud going on, check that one first. Check all that right there, all of them.
We could get into a whole off-air discussion about things. Just saying. We're going to be in a good mood. We're going to be on our best behavior.
That's what I'm trying to get it all out now.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get it all out now. When Holly comes in, I'm going to be. I wore my TSU shirt. The women play tonight against Old Dominion. I'm halfway thinking about going down there.
Well, go down there, man, because I'll be at Rice because they got a double hitter. Men play St. Thomas and women play Stephen F. Austin. So that'll be a good game between Rice and Stephen F. Austin. That could be two teams going to the tournament. So okay. ODU and TSU should be a good matchup as well. Good indicator of where Coach Skeet is with a new program, new players, new system, and coming off a loss against UT Arlington. I got a comment, but I won't make the comment about UT Arlington head coach and who I think should be her next destination as a head coach. But anyway, you know who I am. You follow me on this show. Just go with what I just said. You can figure it out, considering somebody lost 55-48 in their season opener on the road. It is good, buddy. But anyway,
you leave my dude alone, bro. You leave my dude alone.
Hey, you rates is too, apparently. So
Oh my gosh! Well,
9 years, 9 years. One end of the hallway, 9 years. Other end of the hallway, 9 years. Same thing. I'm just saying. Willie Gibson, you feel me right, Willie?
Speaking of Willie Gibson, Willie Gibson won Big 50 in the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge this past week. He won it by virtue of a tiebreaker over Keith Hennig. He was, I believe, 4 points closest to the exact.
Did Keith file wanted a recount?
We did recount. We did check it and check it again. And we made Keith concede. So real quick before Holly gets on, if you want to get in this week, again, no registration fee, no entrance fee. Just get all your picks in from Thursday through Monday night. Pick every single game. Now, you cannot just pick your favorite games because you only get credit for the ones you turn in. But pick every game, NFL game, from Thursday night tonight all the way through Monday night. And then for the Monday night game, give us the exact final score of both teams, not the combined 35-28, 12-10, whatever you think the exact final score for both teams. Get those to me tonight by 6 p.m. Central. 6 p.m. Central. You can text them 832-403-5005, or you can email them, aj@jonesmediaandent.com. Got to have them by 6 p.m. Central, and you're in. All right? It's just that simple. Just that simple.
Sounds good to me, man.
Yeah.
Good luck, Willie Gibson.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what?
And everybody else.
And brother came in strong, too. You know, he kind of missed a couple of weeks and came back strong with the last couple of weeks, but he finally got over the top and won one this week.
Good for him. And he's been quiet about it, too. So I have to bend his ear and say, hey, man.
I told him, give every dime to my niece. Give every dime to my niece.
Yeah. And he said?
He gave me some jargon, some gibberish. Some gibberish. Yeah. Well, so anyway, man, Rockets, brother, come on now. Ice cold from the three last night, just icy.
Beyond after the first quarter. First quarter, they were 3 for 5 from three, 14 for 20 overall in that first quarter.
They played 4 quarters.
And then followed up with a 4 for 21 in the second quarter and made 1 3 in the second quarter.
Look, James Harden, NBA Western Conference final-ish from a couple of years ago.
Speaking of James Harden, and you see you've got a comment there, Willie Gibson.
Yeah, they coming for you, man.
Yeah.
Schemes, plot. They coming for you.
They're coming for you. But yesterday, Rice Owls head coach Scott Pera announced officially, because it was the first day of the fall signing period, for national letters of intent for the student athletes. I'll be nice. Student athletes. And Rice announced the signing of Keanu Dawes, forward from Stratford High School, 6'8", 6'9", still growing. During Coach Pera's media session, he was asked if there was any player comparison for Keanu Dawes. And Keanu was a top 100 player in the country, one of the top 7 in the city, top 25 in the state, on and on. You get the idea. Mm-hmm. Coach Pera came up with 3 names for different skill sets. One, Trey Murphy III was with New Orleans. He played at Rice before transferring to Virginia for his last year in college. 6'8", shooter. Ben Simmons for his defensive versatility. And also because of his elite passing, one James Harden. So Keanu Dawes, a little bit of Trey Murphy III, a little bit of Ben Simmons, a little bit of James Harden will be in a Rice Owls uniform beginning next season. So just saying, people, it's not just the Houston Cougars getting talent in the area. Rice Owls doing that thing too.
Wow. I like it. I like it a lot.
And also got to toss in that Keanu is a 2022 finalist for the Guy V. Lewis Award and will be probably on the top 50 watch list for the 2023 Guy V. Lewis Award, which we will announce. Top 50 list will be coming out in a couple of weeks, and the winner will be announced the week of the Final Four, which will be in Houston, which is a great segue for our guest when she joins us. We can talk about that. My man, how's your buddy over at TSU? How's he doing? Have you sent him any cookies and brownies yet?
Who we talking about?
Russ McGinty. Right? You said you're going to... CJ, didn't he say he's going to send Ryan some brownies or some cookies, right? Did you say that? Right? Didn't you say that? Am I misremembering? sir?
No, you're not misremembering. You're not. Okay. I did say that.
Am I being messy live on the air on the lunch break?
I haven't. I don't have those baking skills that you have.
Well, but I'm glad you mentioned TSU Lady Tigers are facing ODU this evening at the H&PE Arena. My man, did you get an email about it?
No.
Say that again. What did you say?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And TSU men are at Texas Tech this evening as well, 7 o'clock in Lubbock. And we can be proactive because it'll be take place before next Thursday's show. But Tiger Pride next Wednesday, I guess not Wednesday, November 16th. Houston, Texas Southern, Fertitta Center, 7 p.m. Y'all gonna be there? Let me say it one more again. Let me say that one more again. Houston hosting Texas Southern men's basketball Wednesday, November 16th, 7 p.m. inside Tillman's building. Will y'all be there?
It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be
competitive. I know that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game.
Be a lot of trash talking. I expect that too.
Yeah,
be a lot of that.
U of H blew out Northern Colorado. Any takeaways from that?
Indiana has got the guarantee right in his cover that Houston would cover. The spread was 21. So they did that and then some.
Hey, hold that thought. Our special guest just joined us. So let me take a quick break. Let me get myself together before she comes on because I got to put my best face forward. Holly, we're coming to you next right after these messages right here on the lunch break. Powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
All right, great show again. Just download the BS3 TV network on your Roku streaming device. You'll get Queen 3 and King podcast and a lot of great shows like The Lunch Break, where we have our special guest, Miss Holly Kesterson. Holly, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having us, guys. How's it going?
Doing well. I really need to put you in the middle. Let me see how I do that. Put you in the middle.
Just drag it, man. Just drag it. Come on.
Chris has me cutting up.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, now, Chris, you stay over there and act right, okay? Hey, Holly.
I'll do my best.
Oh, this is going to be fun. I can tell already.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm in rare form today. I have been for the last couple of shows, so don't mind me. Just talk right over me. You'll be fine. Now, Holly, what is your exact title? It's a very important title, and I'm not saying it because I don't know it. I want to hear you say it with, for our listeners and our viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am the president of the Houston Local Organizing Committee for the 2023 Men's Final Four. So we're excited because it's only about 6 months away.
And it is very exciting that it is here yet again because, we've had great success with the Final Four. You guys are doing an amazing job with the different events, different things to get folks out and get the energy going. I love what you did with the kids that you all have been doing with the kids of the various different school districts.
Yeah, it's been amazing. One thing that as basketball fans, and I know you guys are diehard basketball fans, it's exciting to be talking about the Men's Final Four. But as a Houston local community member, I'm excited about all the other things that come with the Final Four. And as you referenced, the literacy program, the Read to the Final Four program that we're running in 11 different school districts here in our community. That's probably about 40,000 kids who will go through our program. It's been a ton of fun. It's been super engaging. And actually just on Monday, the 7th, we launched the season of reading. So kids are competing, they're tracking their reading minutes, and we can't wait to follow them along as we head toward basketball championship time.
Listen, Kris, I'm not going to dominate the conversation, but Holly, I thank you for that, because anytime my younger children thinks dad is cool, because I got a chance to be there for the launch, and my daughter's school is in the reading, is in the challenge. So I dropped her off at 7:30 this morning so that they could get some of their reading in. And she's like, God, I can't believe you're a part of this.
Anything you can do to be a cool dad. I get it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kris, I'm a hush. Go ahead.
Oh, no. AJ, have you noticed her background there?
I have noticed.
The Final Four logo there? Yeah.
I have noticed. In fact, I was going to take us down and let it just shine.
But Holly, I think last week you kicked off the volunteer program as well. So just how is that progressing, and is it still time for people to volunteer?
Absolutely. So we launched the volunteer program on November 1st, which was really exciting because, as you guys know, it takes 2,500 volunteers for us to pull off a Final Four. And those volunteers do everything from help greet and welcome, those visitors into town, to help working at some of the events and activations that go on. There's so many things that volunteers can do during the week of the Final Four. But yes, we are still taking volunteers. We filled about a third of the shifts already. So people got right in and signed up right off the bat, but we're still looking for people to join us. So anybody who wants to get involved, you can still go to ncaa.com/men's Final Four to get all the information, sign up, come out there, be with us. You get some swag, t-shirts, hat, that type of thing for volunteering. But it takes all of our Houston community to pull off a great event of this size, and volunteerism is a big one of those ways.
What did you learn, excuse me, AJ, what did you learn from the 2016 Final Four in H-Town that you're doing better, if not differently, for 2023 Final Four?
The great thing about Houston is it's such a great large sports city. So everything from the Final Four in 2011 to 2016, some of the other big events that have gone on, those are all learning opportunities. And so we try to use the foundation that was laid in 16, because 2016 men's Final Four was amazing. People had a great time. The games were fantastic. But there are lots of lessons learned, and there's lots of things that we're growing on. The reading program is a great example of that. It was actually created in 2016 during the men's Final Four. It was one school district, a little less robust, but that program has stuck around, and it's actually been at every men's and women's Final Four since the 2016 men's Final Four. And now we're at this robust size where we're 11 school districts. It has a literacy tour, XYZ. So there's so many things like that we're taking and learning. But you can also apply that to, operations and logistics, how we move people when we work with our community partners like the Metro Rail to get people to the game and back, how we're working with our hotel partners to make sure that we can enjoy as much of a walking community downtown as we possibly can. So there's lots of little lessons learned, but, it definitely helps when 2016 was such a great experience that's our foundation, and we're only getting better.
Yeah. Holly, let's get a little personal with you. How did you go from being where you're from to where you are right now? How'd you get involved on this side of it?
That's a great question. Well, I've always been in sports, always been in the event business. I was actually a college basketball player once upon a time. So this is my love and my true love. But my role, my employment is with the Harris County Houston Sports Authority. I'm the vice president of events on my day-to-day job. So I was a part of the team that got to bid for the Final Four when we were awarded in 2018, got to be a part of it as it's transitioned. And then it was a nice role for me to be able to step into the leadership part. I worked alongside Doug Hall, who was the president for the 2016 Final Four. He's a great mentor and friend of mine. And so to be able to step in and learn from him and then transition into the role that he was in has been a really enjoyable experience for me, but it's also a great opportunity to work with a lot of our same partners and be able to kind of continue that legacy of success for the Final Four here in Houston.
Well, I can tell your background as a player has translated over to what you're doing now, because you guys are aggressive, you're proactive and not reactive, you're innovative. I mean, you really have put together a great plan, a great team, and great execution so far.
Well, I appreciate that. And I love to be able to translate some of those basketball skills and hope that there's, thousands of basketball players who were in the shoes I was once upon a time, hoping to get in the industry, that we can help do that. One of the programs we're actually running to hopefully create some of those opportunities is a college course, which is partnered with all 4 host institutions. So University of Houston, Rice, Texas Southern, and Houston Christian University all are coming together to be able to learn what we do from a business standpoint around the events industry and around this great event, and get kind of that behind the scenes experience. They get to sit in on our planning meetings and so many other experiences to see if this is a business for them and this is what they want to learn and do. And so we're trying to help create that next generation of leader, that next generation of hopefully great Houston community member, that if that's something we can help create that bridge, we want to do that.
That's outstanding. Go ahead, Kris.
Holly, is there a plan? I don't know how far in the future you can look, but is there a plan to bring another men's Final Four to Houston?
Oh, we certainly hope so. We are not in the current bid cycle because we haven't hosted yet. So we won't be eligible until after we've hosted this event this spring. But as soon as that opportunity comes around, absolutely, Houston will have our name in that hat. We as a community love this event, and you see that based on the amount of participation and the interest as soon as we know a Final Four is coming. So we'll certainly be in that mix again as soon as the opportunity presents itself.
Holly, let me ask you, I know the answer, but why do events like the Final Four love Houston?
There's so many reasons. I mean, there's a long list of reasons why Houston is great, but the biggest piece of that, in my opinion, is the collaboration in our community. We are a major city, but when you get here and you see how the different entities and departments and projects all come together and everybody steps up to do their best for the event and for the community, it makes such a big difference. So when you're talking about everybody from the amazing partners at NRG Park and SMG who run the stadium side of things, to downtown with Houston First and the Convention Center, Discovery Green Park, our city entities, our county entities, it takes so many people coming together to pull off an event like this, and we do it all the time. And you just saw it earlier this week, I guess, with the Astros parade. I mean, being able to do these big things at the level Houston does it, it's because of that collaboration and that small town community feel, and it makes a huge difference. It goes a long way, and our visitors and our NCAA counterparts, they feel that, and that's why they continue to come back.
Sounds good. Kris?
No, that's all, because the last thing I want to say is, as a University of Houston alum, I'm just trying to be good and just imagine the men's Cougars team making the Final Four in Houston. That would just, I'll be beside myself if that happens.
I think a lot of people would be beside themselves if that happens. It would be, I mean, of course, we're impartial. It's going to be a great event no matter what. But to see a hometown team in the Final Four would be like we've never seen before. I think it would be absolutely wild cheering for our community. We're certainly cheering for them. And we saw 2 Houston area teams in the March Madness tournament last year with TSU showing out great. So we're cheering for all of them. We'd love to have Houston represented, and it'd be really special to have a Final Four team from our hometown.
One last thing, if I can, AJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
Holly, what's the calendar of events upcoming, like you guys will have either the rest of this month, December, and January going forward?
Yeah, so we are busy. We're in the community as much as we can be. Everything from our reading program, our literacy tour, to fan jams. If you guys haven't seen that yet, that's that big truck with basketball hoops on the side of it that comes with all kinds of games and fun. That's all over the community. That will be in a variety of places this month, including the HEB Thanksgiving Parade. We will be on site at some games. We're actually, our staff is going out to the Rice women's basketball game tonight.
Oh, I'll be there. Okay.
Good. So our goal is to leave as big of an impact here locally as we can. And that means we got to be in our community. And so we will be around. It will be a busy fall as we finalize a lot of our logistics plans are due in December. NCAA calls it Decision December. So we've got a lot, but then you hit January fast and furious, and we will be everywhere. So you guys will see us a lot. Hopefully we'll be chatting with you quite a bit between now and then, but it'll be a fun couple of months as we really ramp up starting in January.
Holly Kesterson, y'all. She is the president of the local organizing committee for the 2023 Men's Final Four here in Houston. And you are absolutely amazing. Thank you for making the time for us. Hope to see you and be a part of, things that you all have going on, especially the community service stuff. In my other life, I'm a pastor, and I mean it. I got young people who would love to be a part of that. So I'll make sure to give out that website address for volunteers. Anything else you want to leave or final remarks you want to have?
I think just join us. Be a part of making this event great. Be a part of making Houston shine on the biggest stage. This is the first big event back since COVID, and we want to make sure we show out. So come sign up to volunteer, ncaa.com/men's Final Four. Join us and help us make Houston proud.
Holly, keep up the great work. Thank you again for making time for us. Thank you for letting this guy talk you into coming on the show. I hope it wasn't too bad for you, Holly, was it?
You guys are great, and I hope I get to be back a couple times before Final Four.
We'll
make it happen. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Make it happen. Holly, thank you. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Kris, she was phenomenal, man. She might take your spot, bro.
Well, she might take your spot. She might become the regular on Thursdays, man. Yeah.
I swung and you countered. That was pretty good, Kris.
Yeah.
Kris, that's why I like you, man. You quick on your feet, dog. You quick on your feet. Let me take a quick break, and we'll come back. We'll kind of break down what she was saying. I had a question that I didn't ask, but I'll ask you when we come back right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of these folks right here.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
All right, we're back here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3. And you got a little glimpse of all the different opportunities and entertainment that is on the BS3 network. Again, if you got a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. We're changing the way you watch TV. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, always hanging out with me on Thursday or somewhere near there. She was good, bro. I like Holly.
She was, yeah. And ask me a question, but I want to put a bow on all of this. I want to commend her because a year or so ago,
I remember
I was on the lunch break.
Yep.
Highly critical.
Yeah, you were tough.
Of Holly and the local organizing committee for not including me and I think us,
right?
Media, local media, and the local launch party. But since then, she owned up to it.
Yeah.
She apologized for not communicating with us. And she's been about it ever since then. So I want all of us to eat. Let me be clear on that. All right. This is my city.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Houston Roundball Review. Local name first, but global perspective. So if I can help Houston shine hosting a men's Final Four, I'm going to do so. And AJ, we got the platform to do it. I reached out to Holly and her staff weeks ago about having her be on this show, and hopefully she'll be probably a monthly appearance on the lunch break from now through March to just share information about what's going on.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, sharing information.
Yep. No, I love it, brother. I love it. And you're right. From that day, about a year and a half ago to now, it's been night and day. I mean, we have been invited to everything. I have gotten emails. I haven't been able to go to everything, but they haven't stopped inviting. And everything has been top shelf, man. Everything has been top shelf. So really, and I meant what I said, really proud of the work that they're doing. They're innovative. They're proactive and not reactive. And she's got a great team doing a good job. And it's no small undertaking, Doc.
Oh my God. No, my goodness. No, man.
Yeah.
And look at how, and she mentioned it. The read to the Final Four, that idea started in Houston.
Yep.
And it's spread throughout the other men's and women's Final Fours since then.
Yep.
So, H-Town, we do things, we do it right.
Yep.
And folks, sometimes H-Town is a leader.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, what's wrong with being a leader?
If you're not leading, you're following.
Yeah.
And you know what? You can't follow forever. Every now and then, you're going to have to take the lead. So I was going to ask her what's up with her counterparts on the women's side. We've had men's Final Fours here. We have not had a women's Final Four. And I was leading up to it with why do they like Houston so much? Because the main reason the men keep coming is because of what they love so much. How come the women haven't figured that out yet?
Oh boy, how can I?
And hear me, when I say the women, I'm talking about the leaders of the women.
Right. I'm trying to figure how I can answer this politically savvy.
Okay.
I don't understand it. Okay. And I've been on, a part of committees. I've worked with the Sports Authority, more than 10 years. Oh my gosh, going back 15 years to try to get a women's Final Four in Houston. Made progress. I was part of it when didn't even get past the opening round when it was like 10 cities bidding. Didn't get to the final round. And I've seen Houston progress step by step to get to the Final Four consideration as a host city for the women's basketball Final Four.
Okay.
Man, I'm not going to name names, okay? But you and I and colleagues and people in the city, officials, we are baffled why the Women's Basketball Committee has not, sometimes looks like they will not pick Houston to host a women's Final Four. And let me say this, okay? For folks who may be tuning in from outside of Houston. The men's Final Four, 2023 will be the third time Houston hosts the men's Final Four in the last 12 years. 11, 16, 23. Okay? I got you, Willie Gibson. I got you working on that too. So 3 times in 12, 13 years for the men's Final Four. Downtown for the men's events is where it's going to be for the men. But the games, semifinals and the final, how far would you say NRG Stadium is from downtown?
So it's a minute. It's a ways. It's
20 minutes?
20 minutes easy.
Okay. So that's miles, 10, 15 miles.
Right.
Okay, whatever. But it's still here 3 times.
Yeah.
Contrast that what it would be for a women's Final Four in Houston. Game would take place at Toyota Center, downtown.
Right, in the heart of the city.
The heart of downtown, within walking distance of the convention center, hotels, restaurants. The hotels downtown are big enough. My man, when I tell you, I'm not going to name the brand, but Houston has 2 hotels downtown that I think have capacity of 1,000 rooms each. Okay?
Yeah. Yep.
I've attended women's Final Fours in other cities where the hotel capacity is 400 rooms.
Right.
400 or 500, maybe 500 tops.
Yeah.
And that was still selected to host a women's Final Four.
Yeah.
Houston, 1,000 hotels twice. Convention Center, Metro Rail, all these things, and they still have yet to pick Houston.
Right.
I don't understand it.
And they've come close. Haven't they been in San Antonio?
Been in San Antonio a lot. They'll be in Dallas a second time in March. Well, next year. So San Antonio probably posted 3 or 4 times. Dallas twice. So they've been to Texas. So they like Texas women's hoops. And at one point, when the first time they said no, I thought it was because of the lack of attendance in H-Town college teams. That's what I thought initially. That's not the case.
Yeah.
That's not the case because some of the cities they've chosen is worse than locally.
Right.
So I don't understand it. The Aggies have been involved as the quote unquote host school. The Aggies women's hoops won a national championship. Okay, so they got cachet, and they still won't pick Houston to host a women's Final Four. So in some way, somehow, I'm not sure how they can do it without getting in trouble, but I'm trying to nudge, prod, poke.
I'm glad you said that.
Coach Huey, Coach Finney, Coach Edmonds, Coach Skeet, the local area schools, to just publicize. Yeah. Why can't we get a women's Final Four here in Houston?
Right. Because I'm glad you said that, because I was about to mess it up for everybody. I was about to go straight Lizzo. I flipped my hair back, check my nails. Baby, how you feel? Feeling good as hell.
Yeah.
If they don't want us, then walk your right out the door. I mean, come on, Doc. It don't make no. You San Antonio, you 3 hours away. You Austin, Dallas, you 4 hours away. You can't come to the city that's got it going on.
And Dallas is probably more driving involved.
I know.
In terms of getting to the arena than it would be for Houston.
Yeah.
In terms of cities they've chosen,
yeah,
the closest city I've seen that is comparable would be Tampa, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But Houston, I mean, you could walk to everything.
So let me ask you this. Is that the Sports Authority? Is that the Convention Bureau? Who needs to make that call and say, yo, we want to bid on the women's Final Four?
I'm not sure they're going to anymore. Okay. Because they are baffled, frustrated. They don't get it either.
Right.
And like you said, because let's be big about it. 3 men's Final Fours.
Yeah.
Part of the hosting World Cup.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. How many times? Twice?
2. Yep.
We'll be hosting the college football playoff in 24, right? That's coming up, right? I think, yeah. So all these other major events have chosen Houston, and I'm gonna throw a rock, pebble, boulder, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those events are bigger than the women's Final Four.
Yeah.
So those big time events have had no issues with Houston, but women's Final Four committee says, well, maybe not. Okay, well, just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
It's
not something dumb and political, is it? It's not. They got an
I
issue
have no idea, bro. I've tried to find out. No one gives me an answer, off the record or whatever. I'm just trying to make it make sense to me.
Listen, Greg Abbott, if you playing some games, Ted Cruz, if you playing some games, what's some other 2 boys up there? If they playing games,
Dan Patrick, whoever.
Avoid this city. I'm just gonna tell y'all need to stop. Y'all don't want your little re-elections. Now do something for everybody in the city and in the state, not just your people. So,
and I'm gonna put it on Mayor Turner, the city council, all these other politicians locally too. Have you thought about it? I mean, just take time to think about it. Damn, why can we get all these big time events, but cannot get a women's Final Four?
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be something going on there that I don't understand, that I don't get. And I love college basketball. I enjoy covering women's college basketball as well. But my passion for covering it doesn't pay my bills.
Yeah.
Okay, so at some point soon, I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
Because as long as Coach Kelvin Sampson is at Houston and that train keeps rolling down the track, I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I got you. Let me take a break. We'll come back. We'll put a bow on this one. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. Thank you again for getting Holly on here, man. That was good, brother. That was good. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break.
If you're looking for a sports program that gives you the flavor.
Washington Commanders? Really?
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
That pulls no punches.
Thuggish act by a thuggish actor.
That gives you some humor.
Praise everything LeBron does and never criticize it.
If you want a show that gives you good times, then this is that show. BS3 Network proudly presents.
I am Cole Johnson and welcome to
Go Sports with a Z. Every Friday on Patreon and every Saturday on YouTube, Spreaker, and all other presents.
Cole Johnson has forgiven me for not having him on a couple of weeks ago when we were supposed to be on. That brother has amazing grace, and he has extended something to me, so we'll have him on. Couldn't do it this week, of course, because of Holly Kesterson. But, man, I can't wait to have that brother on because he is as knowledgeable as they come. All right, man, so let's get into it real quick. Things way too early to talk about in the NCAA, but, you know, we will definitely be diving into that. You're going to be at Rice tonight. I'll be over at TSU. Checking out the women, and of course, you know, we'll be keeping an eye on the men of U of H. We'll be keeping an eye on on HCU. We'll be keeping an eye on Rice, and who else? Who am I missing?
PV.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got TSU and PV. I'm on them, Doc.
Rice, UH, and HCU.
Yeah,
TSU. We're gonna talk about all on this show.
Yep, you're absolutely
men's
right.
and women's hoops.
You're absolutely right.
I feel safe in saying there are not too many other places that would do that.
Hey, brother.
Just saying.
I had a brother, you know, mention, hey man, I'm missing seeing you down here at the Toyota Center. I was like, I'm coming. Let me get past this, that, and the other, and I'll be there. Speaking of the team down there at the Toyota Center, there's only one team worse than the Lakers right now, and that's the Houston Rockets. And they have some similarities to me in that they cannot shoot the ball consistently well. And defense is in spurts still.
They don't do. What do they do well consistently?
Okay.
I mean, that's it right there.
I mean, that's for both teams. That's literally for both teams. I watched both teams last night, and I'm like, God, dog, just take the the gold and white off and put the red and white on, and you got it could be either team.
But a huge difference between those teams. One, the Rockets are very young.
Yeah.
So it's expected.
Right.
The other, but the vets. You know, the Lakers are going through a lot of issues. Pieces don't fit.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, that is a poorly constructed team.
Yeah. So that's a big part of it as well.
Again, not trying to put it all on his shoulders. Rob Pelinka has got to figure that out. They are poorly constructed. We saw it a couple of years ago with the Rockets when they started off the beginning of the year looking like one thing, and they flipped pieces like crazy and, you know, made a run at the end of the year before Harden and Westbrook got out of here. They flipped a whole lot of things over and made a run.
And let me give credit to Russ, because I think 2 weeks ago, I was very critical of Russ for not accepting role coming off the bench. A different role for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a better job in that role.
Right.
So commend him for that. Like I said, you follow me, my work, I'm going to give you credit when it's deserved.
Yeah.
When I think you're doing wrong, I'm going to say so.
Yep.
So I'm going to give it to you straight like I see it. But, man, Lakers got issues. Rockets got issues. But Rockets' issues is just youth, inexperience. The talent is better.
Yeah.
They got to figure out how to make the pieces fit. Alperen Şengün playing great.
He really
on
is.
offense.
Yeah.
He had 3 blocked shots last night. Folks said LP's defense is bad.
Yep.
So he got 3 blocked shots, more of a help side defender. That's good.
Yep.
But the Rockets' issue with, like a lot of young teams, especially young backcourts, their perimeter defense is bad.
It really is.
Scoot, Kevin Porter Jr., and Jalen Green get beat off the dribble way too much to be as athletic as they are.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Detroit. Jaden Ivey, Kate Cunningham, same thing.
Yeah.
Bad. If you cannot keep your man, the ball handler in front of you,
right,
the team defense is going to suffer.
Yeah.
Because everything collapses around that.
And I got to tell you, J-Bar doesn't look like he's gotten comfortable yet. Talk about Jabari Smith. He does not look like he's gotten NBA comfortable yet. He looks like he's thinking more than he's just reacting.
And he's been sick. You know, so that hasn't helped too.
Okay.
He had caught the flu, however he described it, chills, fever, to Jonathan Fagan. Rockets never, publicly said it was the flu, but he was down for a while. And his game against Orlando Monday and Paolo just came back. He wasn't healthy. He wasn't in condition. None of that.
Yeah.
He had a double-double last night. So he'll get there, but yes, he is still thinking too much rather than reacting. Tarisin put up good numbers, 5 steals last night, but he was just 5 for 15 from the floor.
Right.
So you're seeing the good and the bad
right.
of these youngsters. But let's give credit to KJ Martin.
Say that again. I can't hear you. Say it again.
That's right. KJ Martin, and I was wrong on him. But the Rockets were too, because they tried to play him out of position. They tried to play him at the 4 spot exclusively. That's not him.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
He's taking advantage of Jay Tate being injured.
Yeah.
More minutes.
Yeah.
Willie Gibson, sorry about that. It's Ohio State Buckeye, Jay Tate. But KJ Martin, he's been their best player.
He really has.
The most consistent player these first 12 games.
Yeah.
So commend him for that. And now he's talking about being good with signing an extension to stay here.
Yeah. Yep. Tony says, I'm ready for a Coach Hollins interview.
See, Tony, I'm not sure Tony caught last night's postgame show. You tell me what you think about this too. I expected more from Rockets defense this year because of Coach Hollins.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it yet. I have not seen his imprint on the defense.
I haven't either.
If he can't get the job done defensively, why do I want him as a head coach?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and jump on this real quick, because you know me, I'm that I told you so, dude. If we go over to the East now, I ain't gonna mess with the West because I'm wrong. I'm wrong as Hades in the West. But on the East side, Cleveland is where I said they were going to be. Atlanta is where I said they were going to be. Milwaukee has just gotten off to a great start, but it was the Atlanta Hawks that gave them their first loss. So, you know, what are you seeing from those three teams in particular, Milwaukee, Atlanta, Cleveland?
Milwaukee is doing this without Chris Middleton. So think about that. Okay, they're getting it done. One loss to the Hawks. The Hawks have probably surprised some folks with how well they're playing and how quickly they have clicked.
Hey, let me just say it. I'll say it. DeJounte Murray. I told people, watch this cat. He's going to be a game changer for Atlanta. That backcourt had a huge upgrade when they got DeJounte Murray. DeJounte carried San Antonio last year. He was just waiting to come out of the wings of, you know, DeMar DeRozan and the other cats. And as soon as he got his shot, his whole attitude changed. So I'm not surprised at what I'm seeing. He has definitely gotten whatever they got for him. He's earned that. He's earned that.
And he's made life easier for Trae Young.
Yeah.
Because he takes the defensive assignments, he shares the ball, all those kind of things.
Right.
That's a backcourt, a young backcourt who has delivered.
Yeah.
But
and again, I know it's early. It's early.
Of course. But Murray, think about all the other young guards. Where is he? He shines on defense.
Yeah.
Jalen Green doesn't. Jaden Ivey doesn't. K doesn't. Scoot doesn't. He gets it. He knows how to play defense one-on-one. He knows how to play the passing lanes, all that. He likes defense and is smart about it. Yeah. Defense also, you got to be smart. Know your opponent.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You saw the game last night. Old man, considering Fred VanVleet, stripped KPJ 3 times last night. 3 times.
Yep.
You know your opponent's tendencies.
Yeah.
Take advantage of, capitalize. But the Bucks, they're the Bucks. They're the best team in the East to me. Atlanta, Cleveland, Willie Gibson's team. I love that tall front line, getting things done, winning games sometimes without their backcourt.
Right.
As my Pistons found out.
Right.
But anyway, I was glad that Brooklyn did what they did with coaching and giving Jacques Vaughn a chance at the job.
Yeah.
So they did something right, I think.
Let me throw this out here, and you can tell me I'm crazy. And if David Grubb is listening, my brother, if you want to tell me to stop saying this, please, get at me. But if I'm Michael Jordan, I'm doing exactly what Brooklyn was going to do, and I'm getting on the phone with Emi and saying, brother, it's your team. Will you come in now, or you want to wait till the end of the year? Because that team needs a good head coach. I'm not talking about a good potential head coach. I'm talking about a good results head coach. And Udoka is it.
I think he'll wait till the end of the season to potentially find out more about what happened in Boston.
You know what? And I think that's ridiculous. I think that if Brooklyn was ready to pull the trigger, Michael Jordan has got to do something.
Well, I agree, but differ, because Brooklyn, there's so much, they have higher expectations than Mike does with the Hornets. But Brooklyn realized we're rushing this. We got a good coach here on staff.
Yeah.
We don't know everything about what happened in Boston, but they didn't want the PR hit. Brooklyn was desperate to get something right finally. Mike, he's got more time to wait to figure it out. But long term, they're going to hire another coach. It's just a question of when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I doubt it's going to be during the season unless they just really go into the toilet. Because this season, why? You know, if you're bad enough that you get one of the top 3 worst records, that's great. That's great because you get a chance to Victor Wembanyama. So,
yeah, I mean, I get it, and they're not losing in a way where it looks like they're tanking. But you know, if there is a team that has underperformed under a owner, it's Charlotte, man.
Oh,
it is
for
truly
a while.
yeah,
for a while. Yeah.
And again, they've got talent. They need coaching.
Whereas Lakers need talent.
Yeah, well.
Utah
and money to get talent. You know, I get that
they'll have it next summer. They'll have it next summer,
right? And I get that. I get that. And those draft picks that they've been coveting are getting more valuable by the minute. But they got to do something. And Rob Pelinka's got to, he's got to earn his money. He's got to earn his money.
But the thing is with the Lakers, I mean, let's think about it. If they make a move and give up their first-round picks either in 27 or 29, whatever move they make will not make them a championship contender.
I agree.
So
I agree. I'm willing to admit I was wrong.
Yeah, why do that when next summer you'll have the cap room to sign a max player?
Yeah.
Because it's still LA,
right? Still
the Lakers,
right?
So they have a great chance of getting somebody like that,
right?
And still keep your picks in 27, 29 because you're going to need them at some point.
Yeah.
You just can't have a complete bare cupboard because LeBron will not be around forever.
Yeah, true. All right, I'm going to ask you these questions before we go. Utah, number 1 in the West. Do they stay there or no?
No.
Milwaukee, number 1 in the East. Do they stay there or no?
Yes.
All right. Number 2 in the West, Phoenix. Do they stay there or no?
Yes.
Cleveland, number 2 in the East. Do they stay there or no?
I'm going to say no.
Portland, number 3 in the West. Do they stay there or no?
No. Don't
do they move up or down?
Down.
Boston, number 3 in the East. Do they stay there or no?
Ooh, move up to 2.
Ooh. Denver, number 4 in the West. Do they stay there or no?
If they go down, it'll be to 5. So no.
Okay. Atlanta, number 4 in the East. Do they stay there or no?
I'm going to say yes for now. Yes.
Okay. All right. I don't know how I was dead wrong on the West and dead right on the East, but boy, I tell you, man, I like what I see out of those young cats in Cleveland and Atlanta. I'm not jumping on the train. I was conducting that dog. I was telling y'all, man, watch those two teams. Watch those two teams. All right, Kris, what do we need to be paying attention for with the Houston Roundball review, folks talking sports, and everything else you got going on?
Oh, let's see. Thank you very much again for having me on the show, brother. I'll be at Rice this afternoon/evening for the doubleheader. Men first, game against St. Thomas at 5, and then 7:30 roughly, women against Stephen F. Austin. Should be a very good game. Women's hoops there. UH men in a Veterans Classic, Friday, 5 p.m. Central Time on CBS Sports Network against St. Joseph Hawks. Then Rockets in New Orleans against the Pelicans on Saturday. I have a post-game show for that Saturday on the Roundball Review channel. Friday, after the Cougs game, Andy's show, Let's Rage Cougs, do a post-game show after the Cougs St. Joe's game. Then Sunday, have Folk Talking Sports with probably Andy and James for sure. Wood's got a Cavs game. I should be done. My mom's Delta sorority is having a Omega service for her Sunday afternoon. It should be done before 6. So if so, I'll be on there with Andy James on Folks Talking Sports. It's a lot going on. All of that links on the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube, HoustonRoundballReview.com, Houston Roundball Review on Instagram and TikTok. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective.
I love it, brother. I love it, and I love you, man. Thank you for making it work with Holly Kesterson, the president of the local organizing committee for the men's Final Four for 2023. Good guest. Great having her on, man. Hey, whoever else you want to bring them, Doc. Bring them.
I'm going to do it. Yes, sir.
All right, man. We'll talk to you next time, Kris.
Take care, man. Love you.
Love you, brother. All right, Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. Great dude. Great guest, too, with Holly. I got the sun shining in my face. I love that. All right, got to get ready to go. But before I do, don't forget, if you want to compete in the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge, that's the full name. Got to get your picks in by today, 6 o'clock p.m. Central, 7 o'clock on the East Coast for Willie Nim. And if you're in the Mountain area, 5 p.m. If you're on the West Coast, that's 4 p.m. All you got to do is pick all the games Thursday, all the games on Sunday, and then for the Monday night game, give me the exact final score for both teams. Don't give me the combined, the exact final score for both teams, 27-23, 13-10, whatever you think the final score will be. Send us that, and you can text those picks into me at 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. You get a message back says got him. Or you can email them, aj@jonesmediaandent.com, aj@jonesmediaandent.com. You'll get a message back from one of the interns that says got them. Last week, we had 123 entries. I mean it, phenomenal. And Willie Gibson won it all. Willie, you got your money, right? Yep, we'll send that money out to you on Wednesday of next week if you get more right than everybody else. Listen, we got to roll. Lord say the same. We'll be back tomorrow for Freestyle Friday. But until then, as always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I truly do love you. There's nothing you can do about it except join me tomorrow right here for Freestyle Friday. Y'all take care.
Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Thursday, November 10th, 2022. Number 1, national midterm elections tend to be a referendum on the sitting president. That was not the case this week with the elections. The expected red wave of Republican wins did not happen, at least not immediately. One thing is certain, history was defied in the elections for U.S. House and Senate seats. As of Wednesday, Republicans picked up about 8 House seats. However, dozens of races are still up in the air. Number 2, American basketball star Brittany Griner has been sent to a penal colony in Russia to serve her sentence for drug possession. Griner's legal team said she left for the detention center November 4th for the penal colony, and a common type of Russian prison where detainees work for minimal pay. The lawyers said Wednesday they did not know exactly where she was or where she would end up, but they expected to be notified when she reached her final destination. Such transfers can take days. Number 3, the World Health Organization chief said a nearly 90% drop in recent COVID-19 deaths globally compared to 9 months ago provides cause for optimism. The Director General said that last week, just over 9,400 deaths linked to the coronavirus were reported to the WHO. In February of this year, he said, weekly deaths topped 75,000 globally. Number 4, police arrested Sophia Rosing, a University of Kentucky student who was caught on camera using a racial slur and physically attacking 2 black students Sunday. Rosing was arrested on charges of intoxication in a public place, 3rd-degree assault on a police officer, 4th-degree assault, and 2nd-degree disorderly conduct. In his email to students, the university president said the student employee victim acted with professionalism, restraint, and discretion, and condemned Rosing's behavior. Number 5. G's Barbershop on Milwaukee's north side took their Look Good, Feel Good mission a cut further. The shop teamed up with Andis Company and the Confess Project of America, equipping hairstylists from across the city and county of Milwaukee on how to notice when their clients, black men, needed more than a haircut, but also mental health advocacy. Andis Foundations is a sponsor for the Confess Project of America in Milwaukee, funding the teaching seminar for G's Clippers. Read more about it in today's What You Need to Know newsletter. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Life reminders: don't allow miserable people to lead you into negativity, including family members. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with our mental health and wellness contributor, Aprilette Russell, as we discuss today's top headlines and more. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.